Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin dominance. There is no altcoin season until Bitcoin dominance hits 60%. Just say XRP.
Yeah, XRP.
Oh, whoa, careful, man.
We don't want the Chinese tokens. We say, get the
Bruv, is this guy a real fucking person, fam? Is this guy a real human being, bruv?
Get the Chinese tokens out of here.
The content presented in this podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only. It should not be considered as financial advice, and listeners are encouraged to conduct their own research or consult with a qualified professional before making any investment decisions.
Crypto Flip.
Welcome back to the Crypto Flip podcast. I am your host, Harris King, and I am joined once again with my co-hosts, Ricardo and Deji. But you know the drill. Before we get into this week's news, what we have to do is we have to dive straight into the dumpsters, see what the Dejians are doing within crypto. So yeah, let's check it out.
Love that. Let's do it.
Back in 2014-15, a friend put me onto localbitcoins.com, where I was scooping up Bitcoins for anywhere between $200 and $600 each. At the time, I thought, yeah, that's cheap.
Yeah.
I bought some from there before as well, allegedly.
No way. Allegedly, yeah. Allegedly.
At the time, I thought I was being clever by flipping those Bitcoins for $1,000 eBay gift cards. Then I'll use the gift cards to buy $100 bills on eBay, which would arrive right in my mailbox. I flipped over 500 Bitcoins before eBay eventually caught on and shut it down. I've kept all the receipts as a reminder of what could have been. If I held onto those Bitcoins, I'd be sitting on a fortune, like the person who sold me the gift cards likely is now. While I've still made gains in crypto, I can't help but feel like I seriously fumbled the bag on that one.
I mean, like, I hear it. Like, obviously, you know, looking back at it now, never, like, hindsight is 2020, fam. I mean, like, back then, it was a flip to you. I mean, at that point in time, 2012, 2013, it was worth $1,000. And you were able to get someone was willing to buy it off you $500 to $1,000. But now, obviously, in today's prices, pre-second leg pump, it's 36 million. You know what I mean? Could go up to 70. It's not the end of the world, man. As long as he makes $1 million in this market, he's good. But that's an L still. I'm not gonna lie. It's an L. It's an L. It's an L. It's an L, man. I can't even laugh at this one because, you know, at least he was just trying to, obviously, you know, it wasn't like he was gambling. He found like a little system and thought he could make money off it. But really and truly, he should have kept some Bitcoin still. I probably only sold half or something because, boy.
Nah, man, I didn't call this an L. Like, he bought at a certain price and sold for profit. Like, the guy made peas. So what's the problem? Obviously, you know, if
there's profit and then there's profit, bro.
He made profit. He made profit. Like, obviously, are you keeping all your Bitcoin?
Bro, he made pro, not profit. He made pro. Like, you know, he didn't make profit. He made pro.
Bro, the guy could have flipped it. He could have been buying whatever. He could have been buying real estate. He could have been buying any other asset that's been going well.
I doubt he did that. Because he's
I'm saying.
Listen. Go on.
I hear you. But what I'm saying is, I mean, yeah, man, you know, don't cut yourself. I'm like, you know, like, we all thought it wasn't going to be super 60, 69, 75K in 2024. So, yeah, at the end of the day, take your 800 profit per Bitcoin and walk, man. Also, he's probably feeling bad because the guy that bought the coins from him, he's thinking, they're probably staying on a fortune. Nah, bro, they took that crypto and they were buying some weed on the darknet, fam. So don't worry, you're good.
But someone else ended up with his Bitcoin, and that person is sitting on a fortune. Someone out there has got his Bitcoin, and they're chopping, fam. They're not working. They're not doing 9 to 5 no more. They're gone. What point I'm trying to make is, if he sold his Bitcoin for like 10K, 20K, it's not a massive blunder. Like, cool, you bought for 500, you sold that 10K, 20K, cool. But from where we expect Bitcoin to reach 100K soon, whether this bull run, definitely this bull run. Let me never conservative, like, definitely this bull run. So, like, when it reaches 100K, you're gonna hate yourself even more. Cause that's 50 mil. That's cool, 50 mil right there, fam.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I can relate to this guy because I was obviously around the same time as him from what he said, and at that time it was such a like now it's obviously obvious where Bitcoin is going. Even if it pulls back to like 20K, even though it's probably not going to do that, but let's say it pull back to about 40K, 30K in the bear markets, you have conviction that it's going to bounce back and that the long term things are there because it's got infrastructure and it's proven and all this other stuff. But back then, it was a very different landscape. It was, criminalized. It was a very, very there wasn't. You would have to have a lot of foresight. You'd have to have a number of different things to still hold that. Either you had foresight and you really, really believed. You bought and you forgot about it, and somehow you still kept a hold of your private keys, or those are probably the only ones, though, to be honest. So, it's one of them ones where you just have to, still be in the market and now you know where it's going. Just try and make up for lost time. You probably won't make the money you would have made, but you can still make profit because there's always another opportunity in crypto.
100x trading, 100x leverage. That's what I'm suggesting.
Not sure about that one, but if you want to try that, then not financial advice.
I wouldn't do that.
Let's go on to the next one. I've been in crypto for 3 cycles. In 2017, I rode 7K to 55K and cashed out at 2K. In 2021, I sold my house and bought into Luna at the top of the market and got wiped out 100K. In 2023, I put my last remaining 120K into a coin with a market order with no liquidity and got wiped out instantly, 40K on spreads. With my 80K left over, I entered into the top of this recent peak in April and been in an 80% decline. The house has since doubled in value, and I've got less money than I had a decade ago when I entered the workforce.
This guy is snake bitten. What the hell's going on?
The next run is do or die for me. I know I'll make it. Man said, get rich or die trying.
Listen, yo, Rick, take this off, man. Kind of. Nah.
Yo, listen, I'm not going to lie. You have a gambling problem, number one.
It doesn't.
Like,
a little
bro,
bit.
if something is running away from you that much, like, we all know about not trying to catch a falling knife, like, not trying to buy at the top. And I know it's hard. It's hard not to buy at the top because when you're at the top, it's like, it's the best time. It looks great because, like, you'd have never lost money if you bought any time before now and then you buy it and now is when you lose money. But I just this guy, he's got a gambling problem, and I mean, you should be happy your house has doubled in price. But initially I was like, I kind of backed this guy,
but he's sold it already.
He's trying.
But he took equity out of his
took
house.
the L on the house.
Yeah. Good took the money out of the house, so he actually doesn't have much.
Well, you fucked up. There's nothing to say to this guy other than I feel like he's trying to chase gains now, and when you're chasing gains, that's when you're not gonna make gains. So, good luck to him.
This guy is chasing gains so hard. He's chasing it more than like when men chase women, fam. This is ridiculous, fam. This is ridiculous, bro. 120K on the token that has no liquidity, bro. I beg you, if anyone out there has 120K at their disposal to invest in this stuff, I beg you scale it a little bit. Just scale it bit by bit to see what it is. I know sometimes obviously you might miss a massive portion of the pump. Cool, I hear that. But if you're not sure, or you just trying to manage from a risk management standpoint, you don't do this, man. You just don't do this. Like, you're basically putting 120K on a meme coin, and you have no knowledge of whether it's gonna move, whether it's gonna do well. You're just gambling. You're just guessing. Then you did another 80K at the top. Why? I don't get it. Like, clearly this person never watched any YouTube tutorials about crypto. Doesn't understand market as called multi-cycle market theory. He doesn't understand that you cannot buy at the top anything that's pumped for the last, let's say, if something's pumped at 8% in the last couple of months. Logic says you probably just wait for it for a pullback or maybe just find another opportunity, because in the crypto there's always another opportunity. So like this guy, man, like truly gambling. Like that's what it is. Like he's gambling. He doesn't know what he's doing. I made a little lick on Luna, and ever since then, it's just been chasing games. Just been chasing it, and I worry for him because I think the next step is with not a lot left for him. He's gonna go to petrol. He's gonna go to leverage, and he's gonna blow his account. And then you see him on confession again, part 2. It's coming. This is ridiculous, man. This is literally this is the opposite of what you shouldn't do. Like literally, you shouldn't do this, man. You should not do this. 120k on a coin that you have no, bro. If you put 120k on Bitcoin at, let's say 60k or something from last cycle. Let's say you bought at the top. People will say, you know what, just hold it. You know what I mean? Like we have a conviction like Bitcoin will eventually will go to 120k. On a random coin?
Nah, it's crazy. Like for him, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say something interesting. I don't think it was actually bad that he sold his house to buy Bitcoin. His problem, well, he had 2 problems. The first problem is he buys tops, so that means that he literally has no conviction, and because everybody else talks about it, maybe he's getting this information from YouTube or X or wherever. When everybody starts ball posting, when the Uber drivers start looking at their portfolios while they're driving, when the mums are texting saying, how can I buy Bitcoin? When it's flying up in the rankings of Coinbase, the Coinbase app, that's when he's like, oh no, now's the time to buy. But when nobody's talking about it, when it's at maybe not all-time lows, but when it's low, maybe when it's a bear market, he's not thinking about it. And that's his major problem. He needs to be a contrarian. He follows the crowd. He's a sheep. That's what he is.
Yes.
And until he changes that mentality, he will continuously do the same thing and you'll be a failure.
These are honestly, like, I think you just gave me an insight to what I think maybe he's thinking, like how he thinks about how he enters trades. He's one of those guys that probably skeptical about the token, goes on Twitter or Facebook or wherever they get his alpha from. They see their favorite influencer talking about it. After they already pumped, they've already been holding their bags from 5 months ago, or they've been holding throughout the whole cycle. And he's like, you know what? Now it's time to go get it. And then you see you do a God candle, and then that's when you enter. Bruh, the honesty, man, like,
So
that
I'm
is
just
the
gonna
worst thing you can do.
I'm just gonna support my fellow influencers, yeah, bruv. Every man always says it's not financial advice, bruv. So you man
What do
can't
you
be
mean? No.
be taking this as financial advice, bruv.
Not this man shilling their own freaking meme coin bag. They do not say that, fam. They literally tell you to join their Telegram so they can show you some freaking meme coin. Don't piss me off, fam.
So you're saying, you know who the biggest shiller is right now? Like right now in the market?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. It's
Oh,
Murad.
Murad. Yeah, cool. But no, wait. Murad is actually seen as a champion.
The Don's a shiller.
What's it called?
The Don's a shiller, bro.
Shiller, but he's seen as the Elon Musk or the Warren Buffett of meme coins, fam. That's what he's been depicted as. You know what I mean?
What's
My
Elon
man
Musk
here?
shilling? He's shilling Tesla and shilling SpaceX.
He's shilling his
Starlink.
own. What he owns his.
Yeah?
That's his
Murad
shit.
shilling his own thing, fam.
Yeah,
Murad
cool. He's
shilling
shilling
his
his own
portfolio.
shit. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
With that.
I'm just saying. I hear you.
But what I'm
this guy,
saying
bro.
is-
This
what
guy's
I'm
a
saying
separate
is-
beast.
Exactly. But these influencers I'm talking about are faceless, bro. They call themselves Tracer. They call themselves this and that. And I'm like, bro, like that trip. Your mother did not born you and called you Tracer, fam. Your name is not Tracer, fam. What is your name, sir? Anyway, yeah, man. I don't want to go on another rant, but honestly, fam, like people just you need to educate yourself if you're gonna make money in this space. Take some time off. Maybe start with a little small pot of money. Learn each cycle is a different lesson each cycle. This cycle has all been about meme coins. If you knew about it, it's all about meme coins. I will load up on meme coins since freaking bear market, fam. So in each cycle, there's a lesson. Each cycle, you should aim to get better each cycle. This guy is just fucking gambling, so fucking man. Pardon my language.
There
Facts.
you have it. There you have it. So welcome back to the Crypto Flip podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and leave a review on any podcast app that you listen to us. We're available everywhere. If you like listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to listen, don't forget to leave a review. That helps us out a lot, and we appreciate it. So it's been a crazy, crazy week. Bitcoin hits $72,000. Not only that, the Bitcoin dominance was also at 60%, which is pretty high. We have retraced it a little bit since then, but it is looking very, very bullish, especially when you look at Google Trends, when you look at Coinbase app rankings. All of those are low in comparison to when we previously hit all-time highs around the same price. So yeah, retail is not the ones driving this pump. So it seems as though we have a lot more to go. What are your thoughts on the market as is?
Bruv, I'm just gonna side in. Retail have lost the opportunity to buy crypto at reasonable prices, and by the time they get in the market, they're gonna be buying. They're gonna be paying the craziest prices for the most the most basic coins, bro. Like the only thing that hasn't pumped significantly since about January this year is Ethereum, bro. And like all the alts,
That's true.
I guess all the alts have pumped, not to previous highs, but they've pumped significantly throughout the course of the year. And the ones that haven't pumped, they're just never gonna pump, bro. Like things like Shui, things like Shui, things like Say, things like Solana, things like I don't even think Cardano's pumped that high. Even Monero's pumped, or even Privacy Coins is pumped. Like everything else that's gonna be left for retail when retail jumps in like December is just gonna be like they're gonna be basically dumpster diving, bro. They're gonna be top surfing. And I think right now they still have time to actually get into the market and buy something reasonably. Like getting into the market and buying Ethereum at this price today. Fingers crossed it goes up. That's yeah. But like buying Solana at 175, 180 is not a bad buy. Buying, not financial advice. Buying literally anything right now, even Bitcoin, like with a hope of like I'm gonna buy and probably scale out or rotate in December, it's probably a good shout. But all they care about is meme coins, bro. And like we've seen Doge, the biggest meme coin fam, billions in market cap, has pumped over the last week, which means in my mind that some of the retail investors are jumping in the market, or institutional investors are saying we can't let meme coins get away from us, and they're getting in. So yeah, I just think we're at a point where retail is just gonna get left behind, bro. By the time like you described, by the time the cabman is saying, "Ah, checking their portfolio while they're driving," or your mom or your aunt is calling you to say, "How do I buy some of that crypto there?" Like by the time that happens, son, Bitcoin's gonna be 100K, and everything else in the market is just gonna be ridiculous. In terms of the Bitcoin dominance being at 60%, for me, that feels like a massive flag to say, "Yo, some of this money is gonna start rotating into alts," and which alts? I don't know, probably Solana, because meme coins. But yeah, I just think we're at a point now where if you're not in the market, but we've been chatting about this shit for the last fucking year, bro. I remember last year
Yes, we
September.
have. Yes, we
Last year
have.
September,
Yes,
bro,
we
we jumped
have.
on pod and we were like, "Yo, we're gonna get into these alts, bro." All of those alts did like 3 to 4 figure pumps over the next few months, and then we were like, "Yo, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin." We've been saying September's gonna be shit. Actually, September ended up being good, and October's gonna be great. It's everything we talk about just happens, and our retail is still just sitting on the sideline thinking, "What? Like, what are you waiting for now, bro? You waiting for 20K Bitcoin?"
Yeah.
The thing is, they're not thinking about Bitcoin. That's the problem. They will start thinking about. So this is probably what's going to happen, right? Because we had the halving. What was it last year? I think.
Nah, bro, this year.
Oh,
This
was
year,
this
okay.
year? Yeah, what
This
Marvin
year,
was this year. It was
earlier
this year, May.
year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we had the halving, right? And we haven't really smashed through all-time highs. We kind of just about gone above it, or kind of been near it, and just kind of obviously come back a little bit. But when there's like currently a supply shock as well, because exchanges are low on Bitcoin, which is obviously important. So
Bro, that is such a big
when
deal.
all of these exactly. So when all of these things happen, Bitcoin is going to shoot up. Then you're going to get news start talking about it. Then retail is going to FOMO in, which is obviously going to drive prices higher for Bitcoin and other things. Then Bitcoin's going to cool down. Then they're also going to start to pump, and maybe alongside some of the larger cap memes and stuff. And then obviously memes are going to fly. Maybe memes might even fly before alts. But yeah,
I think memes fly before alts.
yeah, that's possible because obviously they're the ones showing strength and whatnot. But yeah, I do. I mean, we've been shouting for the rooftop for a while. So yeah, for people not to be, in the market. It's crazy to us because we're vigilant, we're in the trenches and whatnot. But hey, man, you can only lead people to war. You can't make them drink. So it's one of them things.
Oh man, honestly, like I think you guys have said some great points, and you're right. We have been saying like ever since last year when we realized that the bottom have been in for Bitcoin in the market. We've been obviously been active in this market and doing what we need to do, and I've been saying to the fam, Bitcoin dominance. There is no altcoin season until Bitcoin dominance hits 60% and falls down. Like literally that during the period where it's literally crashing, that's when basically whales and traders are basically transitional distributing their Bitcoin profit, rotating into altcoins. It could be large cap, mid cap, low caps, and then the cycle goes again, back to Bitcoin again. So let me screaming this like Bitcoin, watch the Bitcoin dominance. If you faded that advice obviously and gone into some alt, yes, you could have made some money. If you are in some top meme coin like XPX or Moo, you know what I'm saying? People made like I think people that the crypto guys that have been making money in this space are mostly meme coin holders in this run so far. And I think probably next to that is probably Solana and then Bitcoin Maxis, that kind of stuff. So I think it's been great for all those three people. But if you're in any other token other than those, you'll probably suffer. You're probably waiting for altcoin season. But your worry is almost over, my friend. We are almost there. Watchy, we're almost there. We're 60% plus now. I don't see it going any higher than 62%, 63%. And what happens is, we get God Candle in the next month, probably gonna be likely in December, and then ETH. All eyes now will now shift to ETH BTC, Sol BTC, because when the rotation starts to rotate from Bitcoin profit to Ethereum to Sol, you start to see volumes start to shift in those as well. They start doing their own thing, and then they'll rally strong into January, February, and then we'll rotate back to Bitcoin, and then to mid caps, then to low cap Bitcoin. So, if you've kept your Bitcoin, if you've kept your Satoshi value of your portfolio good, now it's time to obviously be more like risky in terms of taking more risk, accumulating more altcoins. Obviously, this is not financial advice for this person, what I'm doing. And I think that's what some of the guys on this pod are doing as well. So, honestly, man, this is just the beginning. I mean, I still think, I think we'll still put in an all-time high the next week. That's what I'm thinking, because the election is on the 5th of November. I think we'll probably pump into that news because I think Trump's going to win, and then pump out of it, then have a pullback and consolidate on top of where the previous all-time high, which was 2021, just 73K, 6,624 or something. So they will probably consolidate around that range and build a strong support and take that liquidity up to the skies, and probably likely next up is 90K plus. So well, fucking time to be alive, and then we love it.
No, it's definitely, we certainly do. And someone else that might love Bitcoin is Microsoft. Microsoft have proposed investing in Bitcoin to its shareholders. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But in the same week, we also found out that Reddit had disclosed that it sold the majority of its crypto portfolio before October. So it seems like companies are... So, like, some companies are obviously exploring, getting into, or for some companies even back into crypto, and others are obviously leaving it. So, yeah, what do you guys make of this?
Bro, the real reason why companies wanted to do this was because they wanted to be a hedge. Like, I feel like everyone's just trying to follow MicroStrategy. Basically, what MicroStrategy's strategy was to be a hedge against the inflation of regular society. So they were like, all right, look, we're going to buy Bitcoin. We're going to put it on our books. So you can buy MicroStrategy stocks and basically get exposed to Bitcoin via the amount of holdings that we have. And now I think they have something like, what is it, $8 billion worth of Bitcoin, which is madness.
Silly. I can't even remember how much.
And now you have like other companies doing something similar. There's MetaPlanet in Japan, which is doing something similar. There's obviously Reddit. Tesla said the same thing. Tesla was like, all right, we're going to hedge against like regular inflation. We're going to buy some Bitcoin. We're going to hold it on our books. And same deal. For Microsoft to decide they want to do it, it kind of feels like what's the point? Like Microsoft, like what's the point, bro? Like, are they doing
they
it
got
to
money
pump their
sit-
share price? They have, I'm sure they have a bunch of money sitting down, but bro, the type of
Exactly.
company they have, they could print money. Like,
They
bro,
can,
you
but
print
the
money
money
by
that
making
they
new
have,
products, fam.
Yeah, true, but
Wait.
the money that you have, you don't want it to get eroded by inflation.
Exactly.
I
So,
hear that. I hear that, but this is also a type of company that invests quite a lot of their money back into like operations. Obviously, they have profits, and yeah, I'm guessing what they're saying is they're gonna invest their profits, but like they have a certain amount of money as a company, and they're using that money to reinvest in other stuff, or they're buying fucking buildings, or they're buying some crazy. But like, basically, the reason why I'm against this, yeah, is because this is like the whole point of crypto was the little man can get into something that is not centralized and can actually make gains that aren't dictated by like large institutions. And the more large institutions buy crypto, the more the price of crypto will depend on large institutions. If MicroStrategy now sell 10% of their Bitcoin holding, Bitcoin will tumble tomorrow for sure. So will if Tesla sells like a bunch of their Bitcoin, it will tumble tomorrow, which means that large organizations are basically still controlling the price of these assets. And Bitcoin was never meant to be something that will be that will be controlled by large institutions.
I disagree, bro.
You disagree?
I disagree, bro. If MicroStrategy dump in the entire Bitcoin, bro, the sovereign fund, the BRICS institution, Russia, even BlackRock will pick it all up, bro. Honestly, fam, because
But then, bro, what you just said is institutions, bro. Like if BlackRock dumps, the
well,
market
that's
would
even-
tumble.
Bro,
Bro, if any of these institutions dump, the market would tumble, fam.
BlackRock's got 30 billion worth of Bitcoin. And MicroStrategy's got 8 billion worth of Bitcoin. This country is probably in the millions, probably billions because they confiscated some stuff, and then Russia started mining now, including the members in the BRICS. So I don't think, because there's so much demand in BTC, they're not gonna dump. Obviously, I know you're just talking about a hypothetical situation, but I don't see them dumping and crashing it, because then what have you been accumulating so far? What have you held so far? You could have dumped
Alright.
several months ago.
I hear you. I got a question for you then. What do you think will be the trigger for the next bull market? Because it's coming. We know it's coming. So what do you think will be the trigger for it?
Insane inflation. That's what's gonna happen, because what's gonna happen is right now monetary policies are loosening this Q4, and then we'll ride that wave. We take that wave to ride it into 2025, and then what's gonna happen? The inflation will creep back in because liquidity is still not great. Jobs open, the jobs opening are still not great. So what will happen in Q3, Q4? There isn't no catalyst. There is nothing. All we're gonna talk about is inflation, the amount of debt that the Fed are holding, and that what's gonna lead to crash. And then we're back again. Bitcoin dominance start creeping back.
And you don't think any of these institutions will be like, okay, well, I'm gonna offload some of this crypto?
Of course, bro. They're gonna offload, bro. Well, bro, they're in it for the profit. Fam, Tesla sold lost. They had like, I think, 2.5 billion. They sold some at profit, and they kept some because they know every cycle is the same ish. Bro, of course, BlackRock's gonna sell. Of course, they're gonna sell. But right now, they're not selling. Then they're not selling for another, I'll say, 3-4 months. Honestly,
I don't think these guys are looking at it that short term, to be honest.
Exactly. And bro, when they sell, they will sell. Bro, when they sell, they won't sell no more than 10%, because it's all about, managing the risk. Cool. We think inflation is creeping up again. Cool. If we think it's tapering, we dump. Literally, that's what it's for. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think they'll ever sell.
You don't think they'll ever sell?
Nah. I think just like how. And I think if they do sell, it will be such a massive deal that we should all be fucking worried.
No,
just like how Warren Buffett selling Coca-Cola and selling his Apple shares was a massive fucking concern. Like, I reckon these guys have realized that they want to ride this wave for as long as possible, and the only way they're gonna sell is if there's like some inherent failure in Bitcoin or crypto as an investment.
Bro, they're using Bitcoin as a tool to hedge against inflation. You know what I mean? So whenever inflation is at a low time, they'll offload it. This is what you do as a hedge fund, as a financial institution. You manage your portfolio. You know what I mean? You don't always say it's gonna go to the moon and not make sure that all your bills are paid for and everything. So the point I'm trying to make is, at the end of the day, they're in it for a long run. I think you heard Larry Finks talk about how they're in this to They want to start offering more Bitcoin services to regular people, to more to their own customers, and they're already doing that. So they're not gonna now, after they worked so hard to accumulate so much, then they're not gonna dump it all. Like, I think they're in it for long term. So that's that. What was the original question, Aris?
Well, just what are your impressions with some companies buying and some selling?
Well, I've got a strong opinion about what Reddit did, actually. I think Reddit is continually, I think they just keep making dumb decisions, Reddit. Like, I think this is where, like, I think most companies are accumulating. Microsoft is thinking of buying. They just announced last night that MicroStrategy is raising another $40 billion to buy more Bitcoin, and Reddit is selling. So it's like, I don't get what Reddit is doing. Like, Reddit is just backwards sometimes. You know what I mean? With their whole entire interface, how they like to do things. They're a bit stubborn headed. Now they're gonna have to buy back our premium. I hope to be honest, ETH is still low. ETH is still gonna. I think like I said to you guys, I think we'll probably get one more capitulation. Maybe not all the way down to 60K, but there will be another pullback, another 12%, 15%, 20% pullback, and then they if they're smart, they'll buy them, because I know for a fact soon we'll hear, probably early next year, Microsoft has bought some Bitcoin to edge against inflation. And then you see more and more companies, even universities, are even putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet, because why? It helps hedge against inflation, and that's what you should be doing in this world where there's also uncertainty. There's war in the Middle East. There's geopolitical instability everywhere now. Like, it's just, it's no brainer. You have to be holding some Bitcoin. So for them to dump just shows to you what kind of company they run. They're not very serious. So let's put it to the side. Microsoft is a very interesting one. I think Microsoft got a lot of money. They've made some amazing investment in AI, and they're expecting, I think, the AI revenue to 10x in the next, couple of years. So I think that's going to be very interesting. They're going to have obvious amount of liquidity and cash to kind of infuse into buying Bitcoin or buying into some of this infrastructure. So if they buy, it will just be another additional bullish catalyst for Bitcoin, in my opinion. So it will be. I think if I think people, you want to probably get into Bitcoin, it's not financial advice, before Microsoft start buying, because that will only increase the premium price on Bitcoin. You don't want that. So yeah. And what's to say they haven't started accumulating yet? On Reddit, bro, Reddit is stupid. They're just dumb.
I hear what you're saying, but on Reddit though, would you sell at an all-time high, or would you sell when the market is a bit soft? I think selling at an all-time high or selling around previous all-time highs, I mean, it depends on their strategy, bro.
Bro,
like,
they dumped a month ago, bro. They didn't dump their all-time high. They dumped a month ago, bro. No, Reddit is stupid.
I ain't got no defense for them. Whole time
just before October.
Just for October, they dumped in September, fam.
Yeah, that's what they dumped. Basically, the panic sold. The panic sold. They're like, oh, revenue is low. We gotta make sure that we be our earnings week. Let's sell. That's literally what they did.
Yeah, but one thing I think this Microsoft thing will do is, I think it will, like, when you have certain notable companies, like some people look at Tesla and Elon Musk as a maverick. So they may be like, that's just...
They're crazy. It is crazy, so the company's crazy.
But when Microsoft do it, when Apple do it, and then other people be like, oh, we need to do this put this on our balance sheet. Because at the end of the day, even a lot of these so-called leaders at these companies are sheep. They don't want to get left behind. When one company adopts AI, everybody adopts AI because it's working. So the same is going to be the same case for Bitcoin. So... yeah, so if you're a smart retail investor, you obviously want to get in before that cascade of things happen. And I think it probably will happen at some point this cycle, at least the beginnings of it. So we'll wait and see. But maybe Trump might be able to get that train moving, because he is flirting with the idea of making crypto tax free. From a recent interview, he said, and I quote, "They have them paying tax on crypto. And I don't think that's right. Bitcoin is money, and you have to pay."
Bro, you read my mind, bro. You read my mind, fam.
This done.
Bitcoin is money.
Finish.
All right, cool. Bitcoin is money, and you have to pay capital gains tax if you use it to buy a coffee. I was talking with a friend. He said it shouldn't really be taxed. And I agree. Maybe we get rid of taxes on crypto and replace it with tariffs. No tax on crypto, but only on tokens made in the USA. We want tokens made here at home. We don't want the Chinese tokens. We say, get the
Bruv, is this guy a real
Chinese
fucking person, fam? Is this guy a real human being, bruv?
Get the Chinese tokens out of here.
I fucking love Trump, man. He's such sick. Listen, this
Oh,
world
my
is
Jack,
fun
that
with
was
him in there,
beautiful.
man. This
was
world is
beautiful.
fun with him in there, man. Oh, I said, get the Chinese shit out of here.
I'm crying.
I said, shui, sui, get that. Ah, Trump.
I'm crying. I'm actually crying.
Nah, no, man. Honestly, I think listen, like I said, I think Trump is most likely to win, and my money will be on Trump to win. I think regardless of who wins, we don't care. Kamala, Pamela, Trump, whoever wins, Bitcoin gonna pump, and that's gonna pump our bags. We're happy for that. But at the end of the day, I think this is cap. Him saying, they shouldn't be taxed, blah blah blah. It's gamesmanship. There's no way you're on a country without, bro. Just to bring in goods from other country to this country, you're gonna get taxed. So why would you tax something? Why would you tax capital? Why wouldn't you have CGT on an asset? So it's just I think it's just gamesmanship, and I think what he's doing is clever. Honestly, I think even though what he's doing is soft landing. It would say like exactly what UK just did. Where they will say, CGT might go up to 39%. It was basically a false rumor spread around to soften the next hike, which was around 4% plus. So I think it's literally the same thing. He's saying all this to obviously gain all the crypto bros, all the crypto heads, get more donation, get more people behind him with the rally, and then when he goes out, he'll be like, oh, you know what? I tried my best. I couldn't get it down to zero, but 20%, 22%. People are like, you know what? It's fine. Let me come out with an increase there, blah blah blah. So I think it just gives me shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, most likely.
This guy's definitely just trying to fish for votes, fam. 100% he's trying to fish for votes. Bro, there's no way on this planet that my man does not want to tax gains on crypto, fam. Like, especially when crypto donations have fueled this election the most, fam. Like, Kamala's side, Trump's side, there's been over like $100 million worth of investment that's come from the crypto industry. And man's saying he doesn't want to tax it because his brethren, he's like, I was talking to a friend. Bro, his friend is Michael Saylor, bruv. What do you mean he was chatting to a friend? Hey, here's what I fuck with though. He wants to not tax American tokens. How the fuck do you even police that shit, bruv? I know. You know his World Liberty 5? Yeah, you don't pay capital gains tax on that, but you pay capital gains tax on everything else. Because my man's like, oh, not the Chinese tokens. Obviously, Bitcoin. But where'd you class that? Is that Chinese because a man was called Satoshi Nakamoto? Is that Chinese? even Shui, bro. Shui was started in California, bro. But the director has a Chinese name. The Don's not Chinese; it's American Chinese. But obviously, Trump's gonna be like, well, if I can't pronounce it, it has to be taxed, bro. Come on, bro. This guy's he's just fishing for.
You saw what they did to my man at the TikTok deposition or whatever at the thingy when he was saying I'm Singaporean, and they're basically, so what part of China are you from? So as long as you have a Chinese other name, it's a wrap for you. But yeah, I think he's definitely just fishing for votes. The only thing I will say is that he has a lot of crypto support, and he's gonna have to, repay some of those favors. So what that looks like, I don't know, but I think he will do something which will be crypto favorable. Maybe if you buy the US exchange, something, I don't know. I can't really say, but I think there'll be maybe something that will be good for people in the US ecosystem of crypto. And it'll be interesting to see what happens if he actually does come to office and how he actually does police that. But something else which is very, very interesting is Canary Funds files for Solana ETF. It's on the horizon by the looks of it. If we get a Solana ETF, if it gets approved, what do you think the impact's going to be? Obviously, we got the Bitcoin ETF, we got the Ethereum ETF, and potentially the Solana ETF. So what do you think? Because the Ethereum ETF isn't actually doing as great, but the Bitcoin ETF seems to be doing pretty well.
So Vanek put in a request for a Solana ETF quite a while ago. I think about March, April.
Yeah, so I
So-
think this is the second one I come across. Yeah,
Yeah, which is good news because the more companies that put it in, the more serious the SEC will take it.
Yep.
How do I think a Solana ETF would do? I think a Solana ETF would do probably the same as the Ethereum ETF, or maybe better. I don't know, man. I think the Ethereum ETF has done so underwhelming, or so much more underwhelming than I thought it would.
But you know why though? You know why though? It's not its time.
It's just because Ethereum is underperforming as an asset.
Yeah, but the reason why bro, honestly, so little sidetrack, but I think the reason why Solana's been doing so well is because of the meme connectivity. Like people love a meme con on Solana, and I think without that, I think Solana will be in the same low as ETH. And to be honest, like the pump from obviously from 25 has been a great pump to like 100 plus, but it's not like Solana has been the best performing asset. No, it's the memes on its own on itself that's been doing well. So I think Solana could do so much more. So I think this ETF will only further help it. And I think the timing is just right. I think if the ETF gets approved in Feb, March, April, it's still gonna have that pump and obviously do its cyclical stuff.
yeah.
That being said, though, hold on. So the amount so looking at the Ethereum ETF tracker, the total assets under management is $7.3 billion. And just like over the last 30 days, that 4.4 million of that was added. So yeah, man, it's moving mad slow. It's moving mad slow, but yeah. Obviously, people might use, I guess, investors, retail and institutional are looking at Solana, thinking, just looking at the price, potentially not just looking at the market cap. They're like, well, if Solana's sub $200 and retail are going to get involved, like that number could go up and they could just profit from literally the perception of $200 turning to $400, and still not being anywhere near the 2,600 that Ethereum is. So it looks more attractive. It looks more attractive for investors, retail investors, because retail's stupid. I don't know. I reckon. Obviously, if there is a Solana ETF and it gets approved, yeah, it will be good news for the entire market. But I think it will also just raise the floor price of Solana. Yeah, man, Solana's doing big things.
Yeah.
XRP though.
Yeah, not looking for an XRP ETF at all. I think that the Solana ETF will do better than the
Wait,
Ethereum ETF.
did you just say XRP?
Yeah, fuck XRP.
Oh, whoa, well, careful, man. Don't set the XRP.
I say that because Bitwise put in an XRP ETF application, and so did I can't remember who else, but that shit get approved, bro.
But we don't care if it gets approved or not, though. Like, but bro, you could have an ETF and it's
You're gonna
still
be
do
seeing
nothing.
an XRP army all over your feed, bro.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what we can see. But as long as listen, hey, XRP will have his days, but let's be real, fam. Like, no one's taking XRP serious, fam. So
Exactly. But yeah, I think with the Solana ETF, I think it will do better than the Ethereum one actually, because I think institutions obviously paying attention to what's happening, and what's happening is there's a lot of activity on the Solana. It's the golden chain at the moment. That's where the devs are. That's where things are getting built. That's where people are trading. So I think institutions will be buying on there. As for retail, when they look at the ETF, I'm a bit split. I think people that are already in the market now will probably gravitate towards it if they do decide to use the ETF in any capacity. It might be more tax efficient for US people or whatnot to buy the ETF. So some people may rotate stuff from their existing stocks into the ETF as well. But yeah, when new participants, new retail comes into the market, I'm struggling to see whether they would go for that rather than Bitcoin or Ethereum. But it's possible. But yeah, I think that it's going to be positive all around. And it's another reason to load up Solana, because Solana is really the the chain leading this market, and you shouldn't fade it, man, because
Listen. I've got news about fading token. Listen, I've got news about fading L1 chains. Trust me, you do not want to fade Solana, fam. Solana is the last chain you want to fade. You can fade Tia like Celestia. You can fade. Well, else? You can fade Aptos, but do not fade Solana, fam. Obviously, it's not financial advice, but you just like. It's easy to make money in this market. Keeping it is the hardest thing. And
was 100%.
time and again, the chain that does well is the chain that has the most activity on it. If that has the most innovation, the most attention, and right now the number one chain is Solana. More than Solana, Ethereum. Ethereum obviously is I don't want to say it's the golden boy, but it was the genesis. It was the first L1 chain with smart contract capability. So that will always be, they will always have that. But the reason why the reason why Ethereum is struggling is because there's so, like, back, if you think about it, back when Ethereum came out, when it did this ICO and everything, there was no competition for Ethereum. Ethereum was the only sole smart contract that was doing this thing. And then it caught attention of everyone in this market and it did its thing. Now it's Solana's time. And I just don't think, like, Ethereum won't pump as well Solana's going to. Solana could easily do a 10x in this run. So can do a 10x and ETH could better do a 2x. Because the attention is now more on Sol. It's just as simple as that. When I rotate my Bitcoin profit into another chain, it's not gonna be Ethereum, it's gonna be Sol. It's just gonna be Sol. Obviously I'll hold some ETH because we all know ETH has to run in the early Q1s every single cycle, whether it's bear or bull. But yeah, man, like Sol is the one, honestly. And then I'll be shocked, even though I know it's not the most decentralized chain. I know a lot of VC has the hand on it, but I still think it's still the number one chain right now because of all the activities. And the meme coin just don't stop. And if Ethereum does improve, it will be because of the growth of the meme coins going on Ethereum. Because now people are like, you know what? Ethereum is now pumped. I don't mind buying some more meme coin on Ethereum, or I've made some money on Soul Chain. I'm now moving some money now to Ethereum ecosystem to do some meme coin activity. So I think that's what's looking at right now.
Yeah, definitely. And on that note, we will see you on the next one. Peace.